Alright guys, hope you're all doing well, hope you're all keeping safe. So today I wanted to look at this Reddit post that I believe went up yesterday, talking about DLC main campaign and new game mode and PvP changes. Now it was actually labelled spoiler, so I clicked on it and I thought maybe this is a leak. I'm going to leave that up to you guys to decide. I think I've already made my decision as to whether it's a leak or not, and I'll talk about that. But the reason I want to cover it in today's video is because the actual contents of what this person is saying about a new DLC and maybe a storyline is something that I actually believed would be coming with Year 3. It's a storyline that actually makes sense. So that's kind of why I wanted to cover it into today's video. This is probably speculation. I'll just say it now. I think it's fake, but you never know with these Reddit posts, to be honest, guys. There's been loads that have been wrong, but there's been loads that have been right. So you just never know. And this one kind of makes sense, so I wanted to go over it in today's video. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you do, drop a like, subscribe to stay up to date with all the videos. And obviously when I'm putting out polls, if you're subscribed, then you can take part in those. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright guys, so this is the Reddit post labeled The Division 2 DLC main campaign and new game mode plus PvP balance changes. As you can see, it's got this spoiler warning here, which is what made me click on it, thinking maybe this was a leak, but there's no details about it being a leak or anything. This person just goes straight into the information. So we're going to go over this and talk about it. So new DLC labelled Manhunt. The hunters unite under one leader named Natalia Sokolov, so in other words, they're known as Russian death squads. There are 4 lieutenants that work under Natalia, and will need to be defeated in order to find the final location of Natalia Sokolov. The final location for Natalia is in Delaware, USA. This is where the final boss fight will occur, but also where the new game mode will be introduced. The 4 lieutenants have raid-like mechanics, so this will not be another rerun of Manhunts like we currently do. They will have wipe mechanics, puzzles, etc. The first lieutenant goes under the name of Vika. The second lieutenant is Liza Vita. The third lieutenant is known as Yosha. And the 4th lieutenant is known as Nikita. The only information we have on Natalia is that she is a close combat operative. She uses the new exotic SMG Ryzek. That will also be obtained by defeating her and obtaining a quest called Natalia's Yashik. Wow, there's so many Russian words here. This quest has 4 stages to it and will require specific pieces of gear and weapons to create the blueprint. The drop rate of the gun is 1% from Natalia herself once the quest line is complete. So what you'll notice straight off by this one is it's not written like a wish list, or it's not written as speculation. It's written as though this is what's coming, which is what kind of makes it a little bit confusing. In terms of the story itself, it kind of makes sense. Natalia Sokolov, I believe, is the only real person left that would kind of supersede Fei Lao. She's the only person left that we could probably try and get. And when you incorporate the hunters into that, it makes sense because we don't know enough about the hunters, and this will be a way for them to kind of finish the game off. So the actual story premise, I think, would be fine. The final location they've put is Delaware, USA. I believe that's a new location. I don't think we're going to be getting a new location at all. I just cannot see that happening with the next DLC. I've also said before that I don't believe we're getting any new story content for any kind of the next major update. So this is why I don't believe this post, but it's written in a way like it's true. It's not been confirmed at this point, but again, I quite like the sound of this. This is exactly the kind of story that I thought we would get for a Year 3. So that's kind of what made this interesting to me, is because this sounds like a story that could happen. Anyway, let's move on to the weapons. So we got the Ryzek. The exotic SMG is the exotic equivalent of the P90. The last attribute is damage to targets out of cover. The mods are 10% crit hit chance scope, 15% crit damage muzzle, and default magazine of 50 rounds. And the talent is Pozlany. Critical hits apply a debuff, which increases your damage to target affected targets by 2% per stack of debuff applied. Up to 30 stacks can be applied to one single target. If the affected target dies, the stacks will convert into 0.5% bonus armor per stack, which lasts 10 seconds, and is refreshed per kill. It says once you complete the main DLC questline, you'll receive a project called Bite. I'm not going to say that, which translates to Be the Hunter. All you have to do is go to a specified location in Delaware where you initially defeated Natalia. and you will get a hunter-like glitch on your screen. You will have to shoot the 5 lights surrounding the area and hunter will spawn. The hunter has a question mark on its head, and once defeated, you will unlock a new skill. The skill is called Smoke Trap. The Smoke Trap activates once a friendly agent steps onto it, and you might have guessed it hides your nameplate and creates a smoke in the area, which is non-lethal. Okay, so in terms of the weapon, again, this person obviously knows what they're talking about. This sounds like a weapon that could be in the game. But that said, the names and stuff, I'm not so sure, but we're going to have Russian names. I don't know about that. In terms of Be the Hunter and stuff, I'm not so sure about. The smoke trap makes sense in the game. You know, the smoke and stuff is already used by hunters. It's kind of already in the game. And applying it to a trap, which is also something that's already in the game, it kind of makes sense as a new skill. And the way they describe how it works, again, it definitely could happen. Once you've completed the main DLC, we just went over that. Once you've unlocked this skill, you'll be invited to matchmake in the latest game mode, Be the Hunter. This mode consists of 12 players, 10 of which are automatically division agents, and 2 other agents become hunters. This is completely down to RNG. The hunters have to work on killing the Division 2 agents, whereas the Division 2 agents, they need to collect samples and extract them. Similar to survival, but this time you get the opportunity to become a hunter. Pretty damn cool. The hunters have 6 skills they can use. Players may choose any of the skills they want before the game starts. By default, hunters will have 5 million armor and 1 million health, skill tier 3 for each skill, and can upgrade their skills to higher skill tiers when they defeat an agent and full kill them. Hunters can full kill an agent by downing them and then holding their melee bind to use their axe. Hunters also gain movement speed when they use the new smoke trap. So this should be something every agent selects when players become hunters. The hunters also by default have double the status advantage when using EMP skills. Now this particular game mode sounds awesome, in my opinion. This sounds like such a replayable game mode. It doesn't even need rewards tied to it, but if it had rewards tied to it as well, this sounds like an amazing game mode. This actually sounds like that game where... Was it where you're Jason and you have to find people and you have to put them on like hooks and stuff? You guys will know what I'm talking about. But it sounds like that. But this is kind of survival 2.0. And the idea of this, to me, it sounds awesome. So, yeah. This would incorporate PvE and PvP. It would be good if they had a PvE element to this only, because I can imagine a lot of PvE players won't want to get involved in this. But anyway, the Division 2 agents can use any loadout they want, but beware of using skills without any hazard, and hunters can EMP for long durations. The Division agents will have the armor they use on their build of choice, but you cannot change builds once selected. You're always in combat when in the game mode and cannot change any items, even piece by piece. The goal is to find the 5 samples, which are called, I'm not going to say that, otherwise known as Green Cure. While obtaining these, you will come across operatives that roam and the streets who will notify the hunters of your whereabouts. So you can play stealthily, or you can go full guns blazing. That sounds cool. Once you've extracted, which is when the helicopter arrives, you'll have to load your samples into the helicopter. But the helicopter leaving doesn't mean you win. 10 people can't fit on the helicopter. So you will have to either defeat the hunters or make it to one of the 2 exits. Once you exit, which will probably be defended by a hunter that you end up killing or not, you finish the game mode and each player is rewarded by XP and a BTH create. BTH crates will give players items and BTH credits that can be used as credits to shop on the new weekly vendor. So overall, guys, again, this is written as though it's gospel. It's written as though this is coming. And this sounds amazing. Like, this sounds really, really cool. So, you know, fingers crossed we get something like this. This just sounds really cool. New gear set, haste and hardy, 25% skill haste, 30% explosive damage. Come and get some explosive damage will convert into bonus armor for you and your blah blah blah. You guys can read this here. There's a lot here. I don't want this video to be too long. So we've got this new gear set, haste and hardy. We've got another brand set. I'm not going to pronounce that. PvP balance changes if you're interested. Crusader, again, this is written like it's gospel. Crusader firewall shield disabled in PvP due to players being able to do large amounts of damage behind a shield, as well as having the ability to corner glitch with half shields. This is where you scope in through your weapon while utilising the shield, preventing player from shooting you behind walls while you can shoot them. Never going to happen. They're not going to disable these shields in PvP. Bulwark shield, increased damage modifier. Regulus damage decreased by 20%. Liberty damage decreased by 10%. LMG damage increased by 10%. Rifle damage increased by 20%. I don't play PvP, so I don't even know if this stuff makes any sense. So anyone who does play PvP, let me know. Riot foam duration from 2 seconds down to 1. That's always going to be good. We believe players should use high skill tier to be able to foam efficiently, and it isn't fair to be able to foam someone for a total of 2 seconds without any additional skill tier. Skill tier damage and duration scaling reduced by 30%. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. We always wanted players to explore new methods of using skills, but it's come to our attention that skills are overused due to the fact that they can distribute large amounts of damage instantly and over time, while disabling players from moving normally and firing their weapons. So this is applied to PvP only. It's not going to happen. For a minute, I thought this would apply for the PvE. Not going to happen. It's just they're just not going to make a nerf like this, guys. People would be in uproar. Medkits increased from 4 to 6. In-sync weapon talent removed. This weapon talent provided too much in a short space of time, and for that reason made other talents feel useless in PvP. Not going to happen. They're not going to remove stuff. If they do anything, they'll balance it, but they're not going to remove that. Nemesis damage reduced by 30%. This is to prevent players from body shotting at high armor and killing players in a single shot. That may happen in PvP. I mean, when I did play PvP, I did use a Nemesis, and it was really strong. Especially with like the Achilles pulse now, where people are doing incredible amounts of damage. It's possible, but Intimidate talent reduced from 35 to 30. Hunter Killer chest piece reduced from 40 to 35, and concussion talent duration of damage when not used in sniper increased from 1.5 to 3 seconds. And at the end, a little thank you for reading. So overall, guys, is this fake or real? Well, you know, it's fake. I'm sure of that. But it's written as though it's gospel, and there's a lot of stuff in here I really like. I like this DLC Manhunt idea. I like the storyline. I think that's cool, and it makes sense that that's where we finally go to the hunters and Natalia, who, you know, we still have not tracked down, and we still don't know a whole lot about, from what I remember about the lore. And in terms of this new game mode, Be the Hunter, that to me that just sounds awesome, and I can really see that blowing up. Like, really see that blowing. I can't remember the name of that game which does something similar. You guys will have to let me know, but I know that game in particular is actually very popular, and this could become similar. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. A little bit of speculation for the weekend. Hopefully you guys all do have a great weekend. And until next week, Epic out.